I'm Shannon Thrasher, and this is 30-Second Tactics. Today we're going to talk real quick about traffic stops or traffic enforcement in general. Whether it's a good idea, whether it's a efficient use of our resources, especially on smaller departments where it's a limited resource. So first, let's talk real quick about why. Why do law enforcement departments, why do we even do traffic stops? Well, the basic reason should be at least to increase, motorist safety. If you're stopping someone from speeding, you're reducing the chance of an accident. If you're stopping someone who's running a stop sign or red light and stuff, now it can get kind of down in the weeds. If you're stopping someone because they don't have a tag light, is that a legal stop? Is that a clear violation of your local laws? If it is, yeah. Is that a safety issue? I don't know. Equipment violations get kind of a gray area. But of course, the other reason, and the reason the public generally thinks that we're doing traffic stops and writing tickets, is to generate revenue. Now, of course, if you get a ticket, there is a fine, and typically that fine will be divided into two parts. It'll be the actual fine for the violation, and there'll be some court costs attached to it. And depending on your jurisdiction and your policies and laws and stuff, there might be some ways to alter that. There might be traffic court or something like that. And then, of course, there's another fine that the motorist might get that we don't, think about or even see, and that's penalties on their insurance. Now, I'm not defending reckless drivers or horrible drivers or anything like that, but there's things to consider as the officer, deputy, trooper / whatever, making the traffic stop and writing the ticket and deciding whether or not to write the ticket. There's several layers of punishment. Now, of course, tickets are punitive. They are designed for one thing, and that's to prevent future behavior. So you write a speeder a ticket in hopes that he won't speed anymore, or at least won't speed as much, or won't speed as often, or won't speed again for several months. And that's where a lot of officer discretion comes in, and experience. Some people, you can look on their record, and they get a speeding ticket every month for the last 5 years. They're going to speed, and they've decided that it's worth the price of the tickets. If some guy got a speeding ticket 10 years ago and you pulled him over again, well, maybe you're going to give him a break because he ain't got a speeding ticket in 10 years. But that's the reason for a ticket, to prevent the future behavior. Now, there are some departments, especially smaller departments, that turn it into, let's support our entire budget or a major portion of our budget through, ticket revenue. Personally, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's serving the public. I don't think that's developing the public trust. Now, of course, smaller departments, smaller budgets, they need to generate some revenue, and they do rely on some revenue. But then it needs to be properly managed. So if your department generates, X, $100 from a year for writing tickets, then, the majority of that $100 needs to go right back into, buying a new patrol car, buying, ticket books, radar guns, whatever it is that directly supports that mission. And again, I think it needs to be focused on, traffic safety way more than just generating that revenue. Now, of course, the other thing with traffic stops and why a lot of cops do them is what other crimes they lead to. If I stop someone with one headlight, I may or may not write them a ticket for having one headlight out. Depending on, oh yes, I knew it was out, I don't care. Or, oh, I had no idea it was out, or it just went out and I'm on my way to the store right now to buy a replacement bulb. Again, that's all, officer discretion. But if I stop you with one headlight and I walk up to the car and either I smell marijuana or I see, something in the car in plain view, or I run your license and you're unlicensed or you have a warrant or whatever, those other things that develop from traffic stops. Personally, I think that's the best reason to do traffic stops. There was a thing on the internet a while back, and I don't know if it was joking or it was being anti-police, but it basically suggested that, cops should police the way firemen fight fires. They said, well, you never see a fire truck driving around pulling people over to check if they're on fire or not. And, okay. But if a law enforcement just sat at the station and waited for a call, Sure, 911 calls would be handled and other calls for response would be handled. But, driving around, and even if you're working a traffic detail and you're not stopping cars and you're not writing tickets, you are doing some good because the public sees you, they slow down. The criminal sees you who's thinking about, ooh, maybe I'll go snatch that purse or rob that store. And, whoa, I just saw a cop, so I'm going to not do that for a while. So the title of the video is, arguments for and against traffic stops. I am 100% for them. I'm probably not, surprising anybody there. But I think, like I said, you need to be careful about why you're doing them, what you hope to accomplish, and you don't let it turn into we're just writing tickets to fund our budget. So that's my thoughts for that, guys. That's all I have for you this week. As always, work, train, repeat. Stay safe.